Hello, fellow riders. Today, for the Cycling Matters bike show, I have two very special guests. I don't know how to spell and to pronounce correctly the name, and not to be rude. Tell us your name.
Hi, my name is Hyungi.
It's a South Korean name, one of the easiest names, in fact, but I'm not able to pronounce it correctly, so I don't know to be rude. And this guy is Brad. They are both journalists from the Far Right magazine. If you haven't heard about it, please check it out. See the link here. And they have beautiful photos, beautiful articles about traveling and bikepacking. And these guys have what for us, for you fellow riders, and for me, it's a dream job. They travel all over the world, they do some bike riding, they eat, they mingle with people from the places they go, and they have incredible experience. And first of all, here in Portugal, Brett, can I start with you? Why did you remember Portugal for an article in the Far Right magazine?
So, for this story, we were working on city exploration. For our last city exploration, we were in Berlin, and we needed to choose another city in Europe because of our schedule. And so I tried to think, what's the opposite of Berlin? And Lisbon seemed like the opposite of Berlin. Berlin's very flat. Lisbon has just so many hills.
Berlin is a bit plumb.
Yeah, it's very gray.
Yeah.
Lisbon's sunny year-round. Berlin's cold. Lisbon's warm. So I thought, and Berlin's very the same color everywhere. Lisbon's very bright and colorful, so it seemed like a good fit.
And did you get any surprise out of being here? Were you surprised somehow, or did you find everything that you were expecting? Or
Well, I had been here before, maybe 5 years ago, and I remember there were some hills, but I was very surprised how many hills there are and how big the hills were, too. So yeah, that was. And once we started riding them, I was surprised how far they kept going up.
what was in your opinion the best part of this week that you spent here? What was the most enjoyable for you? Yes.
Yeah, personally, yesterday we rode around the Sintra, Sintra mountain, and there was a single track mountain for mountain biking, but we did by gravel bike. The whole forest is really awesome, and I've never seen before, but it was really amazing, and it was really nice.
Were you expecting to see so many bike riders here in Portugal, or did you think that the bike scene in Portugal was not so strong?
The reason, I think that too many hills. And I'm not sure if I live in here. I'm totally all days riding, and I want to enjoy these cities, and I really like this.
I was a bit surprised because before we came to Lisbon, we tried doing a lot of research and trying to find people in the bike scene, and it was a bit difficult. So I thought, well, that's okay. We'll go to Lisbon. We'll find some routes on our own, no problem. But then once we got here, everybody was super friendly, and we had a lot of contacts.
Yeah.
And we learned that the bike scene's really good here, actually.
Were you curious about some other places in Portugal after you exploring now Lisbon?
Yeah, we really wanted to. Our original plan was to cycle from Lisbon to Porto, but because this is a city exploration, we really had to focus more on the city and areas you can reach within one day. So we kind of stuck around Lisbon. But now I really want to come back and explore the north, and I definitely want to come back and explore Algarve as well, because it looks incredible. The photos look incredible. Your stories sound so nice.
You have to spend a few more weeks to explore Douro up north and then Algarve. What do you guys think about the food in Portugal?
I think it's the best.
Yeah,
it's so good. My favorite is because I love snacks on rides. So I love that in Portugal, everywhere you go, you can stop for a pastry and a coffee and then keep going. It's great.
Yeah.
It's perfect ride fuel.
I'm getting better.
In fact, you are riding and you are eating pastry, but the calories are still counting.
Yeah.
So, would you recommend Portugal as a bike destination?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's one of my favorite places I've been riding for like all around quality of riding.
Which were the strongest points that you managed to identify?
Just the climbing.
Just tram line.
Yeah, following the tram lines.
Yeah.
And the climbing's so nice. Because the hills are very manageable. They're challenging, but
They are
you can
doable.
ride them.
They are doable.
Yeah, it's very possible if you just keep pushing. They're not crazy long or steep.
Yeah.
So if you just get in your head that you can make it up and go around the cobblestones, and it's definitely possible.
So, you are originally from Seoul. Explain us how is the bike scene in Seoul? What is like? I'm guessing because there are a lot more people in Seoul that there are in Lisbon. How is the bike scene in Seoul?
Well, initially the past 10 years ago, the mountain biking is really popular in Korea. But now everyone is riding road cycling, or it's expensive or high-end.
Really high-end.
Everyone wants to perform. Yeah. But now it's getting much more focusing on the adventure or gravel. It's kind of trend, but now Korea has their own find their own type, maybe
their own style.
Yeah. So the younger people are getting more want to try some different things. So now it's gravel. Gravel is
gravel is a trend everywhere. So now
Now it's getting in.
Now they're accept.
Here in Portugal, gravel is not still big, but I'm guessing that in the next few years it's going to get bigger because I think we have natural conditions.
It should be. Yeah. If you're listening, you should get gravel bikes to come to Lisbon.
Yeah, gravel.
It's perfect.
Gravel is great. I think it's the balance. I'm crazy for buying my own. So don't tell my wife. and in the US, you are originally from the US.
Yep.
And you are from Tennessee.
Yep.
How's the bike scene there? I'm not going to ask you for an overall US bike scene, but there, do you have an idea?
See, now I'm not sure because the last time I lived in Tennessee was 8 years ago, and when I was living there, I only did mountain biking. I think I rode a road cycle 2 times, maybe 3 times, and I didn't like it because it was
boring.
No, it's just there's very aggressive.
Flat?
No, it's hilly where I am, but it's just very aggressive drivers, very narrow roads with a lot of turns.
So that's dangerous.
Yeah, a little bit. Now, when I go back home, I really enjoy riding here because my family's home is in the country, so it's really quiet and it's nice. But for the bike scene, it's pretty popular. There's a lot of cyclists, but I can't really tell you about how that scene looks because I haven't been there. But mountain biking is great in Tennessee. Now I'm in Florida. There's no hills, but there's a lot of wind, so people train with the wind. And,
wind. It's a great coach.
But I'm still new.
As we all know.
Yeah, it's a terrible coach.
Yeah, I would say that implacable. So, can you now let's talk a bit about the Far Ride magazine.
Yep.
If you don't know, please guys go and look at Far Ride magazine. Check our Instagram, check the link here again. It's great, beautiful photos, beautiful articles that gives you the impression of being there. In fact, I'm not kissing asses, it's my experience. And so how can you explain us how the Far Right magazine started and which are the goals?
Yep. Yeah. So, Brett. Far Right started about 3 years ago. Our chief editor, who's not on this trip, he's in Canada currently cycling. Yeah, but he's almost finished. So I think he'll survive. But when he started the magazine, he had the idea that in print cycling magazines, there were a lot of magazines focused on the sport of cycling, and a lot of magazines focused on the gear of cycling. But there weren't a lot of print publications focused on just inspiring people to ride bikes.
Yes.
So we wanted to make a magazine, still want to make a magazine.
Filling that gap.
Yeah. That just inspires people. So we tell stories either from big adventures to small adventures to cycling art and food to great frame builders. Just anything that makes people excited to ride bikes and make bikes and do beautiful things with bikes.
can you find a downside in this life of yours that is basically I'm so jealous of it. Riding in different places every 3 months or
The downside for me
yes.
is that
The upside you already know.
Yeah, the upside is very easy. The downside for me, I hate flying. I'm terrified of flying. And I have to fly a lot.
Do you
Yeah,
take
I have to take a lot of medicine.
Maybe a year before.
I really hate flying. I have to fly tomorrow, and I'm not excited.
It's really afraid of that.
But other than that, it's
And
all.
the logistics for carrying the bikes, and do you always rent a bike when you get to the destination? Do you bring your own bikes?
It depends.
It depends. Usually we bring our bikes.
Yeah, usually we
but-
bring our
Yeah, but especially this time, just
You brought this
This time-
H
yeah,
bar
it's really
for
lovely.
bikes from
Yeah, we
Berlin.
borrowed.
Great bike.
Yeah, we borrowed bikes from 8 Bar.
sponsor 8 Bar. Thank you very
8 Bar,
much.
yeah.
It was. They're gonna have to change the name
Great
from
bike.
Mite to Alfama, I think, because they're perfect for
Perfect.
Lisbon.
Yeah,
Lisbon, Alfama,
Yeah, they
yeah.
will have to name a bike after Alfama.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
They're
true.
really fun bikes.
Yeah.
So, and what's your story with the bikes? When, for instance, when did you first contact with the bikes and started to be aware that I'm going to make a living out of this? I'm going to write about it. I'm going.
When I was starting.
When did you start cycling?
When you start.
After 5 years ago, I was trying to ride a motorcycle, but so I was just trying to pay for money, and it's really expensive, and my parents really denied because I had an accident with a motorcycle. Yeah, so another option is riding a bike, and it's really good for health. So I just trying to find a really good, nice bike like this. I think the classic bike is really my taste. So I just trying to find the eBay, and every night and find myself. And yeah, the classic bike is my first bike. I really like that classic bike because they have their own story and history, and I can feel that
They have a soul.
yeah, I can feel that everything's story. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
Brad, and your story with the bikes?
I started cycling, like I said earlier, on mountain bikes. I guess in high school, at the end of high school. Yeah, with my graduation money, I saved up and bought a Specialized rock hopper, which I still have. It still works, even though I don't ride it. But yeah, so
It's there.
It's there. It works.
It's
My sister rides
It's
it
a
now.
piece of history.
And I really liked mountain biking, but I'm not very tough or talented. So every time I crashed, I liked it a little bit less, which was a lot. And then I moved to South Korea, and I didn't have a car, and I was tired of being trapped by only places public transportation went. So I got a bike, another mountain bike, and rode that for a few months, and then moved to the Czech Republic and bought a 1980 something communist era, really heavy Czech steel road bike, Favorite, and just fell in love because then you're not tied down to anything, and that's when I started spending every weekend just on the bikes. This was maybe 6 or 7 years ago now. And just every weekend going out on the bike and exploring, and then it just kind of grew from there.
And do you have also a passion for building your own frames?
Yeah,
How is that? It's not easy. I think everyone has got their dream bikes that they want to build, but it's not easy. It's not for all. How did it start for you?
in university I studied sculpture and metalsmithing, so I had a little bit of experience with some welding and small scale soldering and brazing. But then I left that behind for 7 years. No, I guess 5 years. And then about 2.5 years ago, I went to meet a local frame builder in South Korea, and we just started talking, and he offered to help me build one frame, and then that lasted for almost 3 years, and until I moved away recently. I was just building every day. So I still have a lot to learn, a long ways to go, but it's fun.
A work in progress.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
So guys, hope you have enjoyed Brad and
Geek.
from Far Ride magazine. Check on these guys. Check the magazine. It's beautiful. guys, keep riding and by all means, keep smiling.